Okay, guys, appreciate you all being here today. Obviously, exciting time here, week one of college football season, and for us, an opportunity to get back in our home stadium and hopefully a full crowd. It's been a couple years, so obviously, I know our players are excited about that as well as our staff. This is we've had a great preseason. This has been a kind of a build up for us, getting ready for 2021. That's something that I know our players have been really excited about our opportunities, and it starts this week. We play Southern here at home. Really good football team. We're 5-1 in the spring, and the one thing that sticks out to me is they have great tradition. They're from Baton Rouge. They've won, I guess, 19 league championships in their history. Over 70 alumni in the NFL, so they've got a lot of great tradition there, and I know they're going to come in here excited to play and looking forward to that opportunity. Their head coach is Jason Rollins, who's going into his first full season as a head coach. He's previously at UTSA and Tulane. Know some guys that know him. Very good football coach, well respected. Their defensive coordinator, Lionel Washington, spent a lot of time in the NFL. So obviously they have a very experienced staff, and their guys play extremely hard. The one thing I noticed from their spring season this past spring was their guys play extremely hard. They're very well coached. They were 5-1. Finished in the top 25 in the FCS, and got 10 players on the preseason conference award list. So that tells you what kind of team they have, and we're going to have to be ready to go and play good Troy football to have an opportunity to win. Defensively, they're led by a defensive end named Jordan Lewis, who is extremely active. He's the active FCS sacks leader. He was first-team All-American. He is Spring National Defensive Player of the Year this past spring in the FCS, SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. He's definitely a factor. That guy causes a lot of problems, plays, again, extremely hard, gets after the quarterback, but also plays the run pretty well as well. So we're going to have a great plan for him. On offense, I think they're led by their quarterback, Ladarius Skelton. He's a veteran guy, redshirt senior that's played a lot. He's their leading rusher for the last 2 years. True dual threat guy that I think can cause a lot of problems with his feet as well as throwing it. They do a great job designing runs for him, and he can improvise in the passing game. When things aren't there, he can tuck it down and run it. So I think for us, we got to limit his big plays, his explosive plays, because it looks like every time they have one, he's involved one way or another. So he's a guy that definitely we got to have a great plan for. They're solid in the special teams. I think what you'll see is those guys, they try to return as many punts as they can in kickoffs. Sometimes when maybe you think they're not going to return it, they got guys back there that can run, and they got guys back there that can make big plays happen. So very solid football team all the way around. We got a lot of respect for their program, and like I said, we're going to have a great plan in all three phases. So for us, I think we're trying to focus on preparing our football team. Sometimes in game ones, you don't know exactly what you're going to get, so you got to be ready to adjust as the game goes, as in any game one. So we're really focused on trying to really improve in our base offense, defense, and special teams, and our fundamentals, and hopefully we'll go out there and not shoot ourselves in the foot. You see so many game ones where the team comes out and turns the ball over, has a bunch of penalties. That's something we can't have against a good football team like this. So again, we're looking forward to Saturday, being back in our home stadium, big crowd, Trojan Walk, all the things that go along with a home game here in Troy, Alabama, and looking forward to getting this season started. All right, questions?
Yeah, Coach, Mike Hensley from the Troy Messenger. You mentioned opening day, and it's going to have a lot of pageantry, a lot of excitement, and obviously a lot of these players, you got a veteran crew. They're used to game day, they're used to the opener, but this one's going to be a little different, right? How do you expect them to handle all the excitement and everything that goes along with Saturday?
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. It's been basically 2 years since we've had an atmosphere like we're going to have Saturday. So I do think the advantage of us having some veteran guys that have experienced it before, but make no mistake about it, they're still young men who get excited about the opportunity to play here at home. And I know there's been a lot of talk around the team about, the things that go along with playing a home game here that we didn't get to experience last year. And then obviously for our new players who've never been a part of it, it'll be their first time. So I'm sure the juices will be flowing. We do have a lot of returners, so I expect our guys to handle it well and hopefully use it as really good motivation to play a great game on Saturday.
Hey, Jerry, this is John Johnson does, but I want to ask you about a couple of potential starters with Lindsey and Elijah Cole. Talk a little bit about both of those guys. We'll take time to fall count.
Okay, yeah, Elijah Culp, we got him. He's a transfer from Austin Peay. Started at corner for those guys and played really well. He was looking for an opportunity, I think, to play in the FBS. He's from North Carolina. We started recruiting him. Really liked what we heard, and he's been as advertised since he's been here. Really liked the way he competes in practice. Very physical. Plays with a lot of confidence, and he's definitely brought some competition to that position on defense, which we needed some. We were a little thin there. So I think he's been exactly what we're looking for. Jabri Barber, we've been impressed with him since the first time I saw him here in camp my first year that summer. He's a guy that played running back for most of his career in high school and shifted, I think, to slot receiver his senior year. Has continued to develop as a wide receiver or as a slot receiver. But is strong and plays physical and can block and do all the things you like those slot receivers to do. And he continues to get better and better each and every week. And he'll definitely have a big role for us in 2021.
I think Jim from Baton Rouge has a question. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, hi, Coach. Jim Kleinpeter from the Advocate in Baton Rouge. I had a couple of questions. I'm not familiar with how you went from Gunnar Watson, who played significantly last year and had looked like he had decent stats, to Taylor Powell. What was the dynamic there? And then I just wanted to ask how you thought Southern might try to attack y'all offense.
Yeah, I think, we had a quarterback competition in the spring, probably just like any other position. Thought they both played well. Competition is just good for everybody, it seems like. And those two guys are veteran guys that have played some, which is important. Last year we went into 2020 with no experience at quarterback. So I think for us, we were trying to provide some depth from a standpoint of guys with some experience. So it was good to get Taylor here. The competition went all the way through the summer up until, I guess, a little over a week ago. And, at the end of the day, you got to pick somebody. And we felt like both guys were very close. We felt like they both played well, but it's, at the end of the day, we had to make a decision, or I did. And we went with Taylor. And, obviously, just like any other position, the guys have to play well to keep their position. And we expect him to do that. But the good thing is we've got a guy like Gunnar who's got some experience as a backup, or is our backup right now. And he's got a lot of experience and has played some games. So it's a good feeling to have a couple guys that have played for sure. How they will attack us, I think it'll all go through Ladarius Skelton. He's a big-time player. He's big and athletic and can make throws. I think he's the guy that makes them tick, so to speak, on offense. He's a veteran guy that's played a lot, so I think that's always a plus for you when you have a veteran quarterback. I think they'll come in and play with a lot of confidence, and again, we'll have to have a great plan because he can really hurt you.
Yeah, Coach. Looking at the depth chart, I know a lot of guys carry the football, but I know Imani being listed as the number one guy above BJ. Just talk about that decision and what kind of went into that.
Yeah, you got a little one with you, huh? Again, just like any other position, we have competition, and at the end of the day, you just make a decision based on what you see on film. BJ's a veteran that's going to play a ton for us, whether he's listed as the top guy or not. Kamani has obviously played well for us in the year he's been here. So, but we feel like we got four guys that can really play. When you throw in Jamontez Woods, DK Billingsley's played a lot for us. My first year, DK at one point was the only running back we had. So I feel really good about that room. They're great kids. They all have different roles depending on what we're doing. There may be a game where BJ goes out there first. So for us, the depth chart is it just depends on what personnel group we're in, depending on what we're trying to do. So it's not a huge emphasis for us, but again, we feel good about that room.
What position group did you see more competition than maybe you expected, and saw guys get better than maybe what you expected going in?
Well, I think that would start with our D line. We were very thin there a couple years ago. Added a couple last year, but I think we added 11 transfers total, something like that. But the D-line was an emphasis for us. So I would say that's been a pleasant surprise. Feel like we got more bodies that can play now than we've had in the past. At corner, I mentioned earlier, I think was another place we added some depth. Jordan Anthony at linebacker added some quality depth there. But the O-line probably has been a big surprise because we've got more guys this year, I think, that can go in a game and play well for us. To have a good football team, you need to have 8, 9, 10 guys, and I think we're getting closer and closer to having that number. So, I expected bringing in those other guys at D tackle and linebacker and corner. I expected that to be the case, but the O-line, I guess, has been a pleasant surprise and how we've hopefully developed some other guys that we feel good about playing.
Yeah, Coach, sorry about the little one earlier.
That's all right.
One more position battle question.
Yep.
I know the kicker was a hot topic through the spring. Talk about that and where you guys landed that competition.
Yeah, you're right. We signed Scott Taylor Renfro, a local kid here who got here in the summer. Brooks Buse, who got here toward the end of the summer, as well as Kyle Cole, who's still around. So those three have been battling. We also, like any other position, competition, I think, makes everyone better. Those three have continued to battle, and they all have different roles. They all have different things that they're good at, different strengths, I guess the best way to say that. So Zach Long's a walk-on guy we've got that's also been in the mix. We're trying to settle on what we think gives us the best opportunity to execute, whether it's field goal, PAT, or a kickoff. And then obviously the scheme goes into it too. Are you trying to kick it out of the end zone? Or are you trying to pop up kick? I think we've kind of got figured out who the best are in doing those specific things. Luke Magliazzi, our punter, has also come in and really been a shot in the arm for us. Kid we got from Australia, actually transferred from UConn, but originally from Australia. I think we're in good shape there. We got 3 or 4 guys I think that we can count on, and again, it's been a pretty heated competition. So the guys that get the opportunity first need to take advantage of it.
Anybody else for Coach Lindsey? I have one more. Coach, you mentioned Jordan Lewis earlier. Watching him on film, what impresses you about the way he plays?
Yeah, he's explosive. He is twitchy, does a great job using his hands. You can tell he's well coached, plays extremely hard, doesn't take plays off. I think he's a guy that's going to test you every play, whether it's, pass protection or running the football. Obviously, he's had a lot of success there, and I'm sure he's a very confident guy, and he deserves to be with all the accolades he's gotten. So he's definitely a guy that we've had our eye on. We need to make sure that we do a great job and have a good plan for him, and I think that's important for our success on offense. But been extremely impressed with his motor, so to speak, and how hard he plays.
Hey, Coach, we talked about the. I'll go ahead, Steve. Right. Go ahead. Okay. Coach, we talked about the number of returning starters that you've had that you have coming back this year multiple times throughout the offseason. Did it make the quarterback decision easier to start a new guy?
Not really. That really didn't play into it. Purely based on what we saw in practice and scrimmages, and we didn't make it off 1 day or 2 days. We made it off kind of the entire body of work. It is comforting to have some experience there for sure, especially in the O-line. Going into last year, we were trying to replace basically 3 starters, and that was an area we struggled some last year. So it's good to have nothing beats experience. So it's good to have that back up front. Got enough skill guys back, I think, that have made plays. So, for me, it really wasn't, I would say, a factor, although anytime you have experienced returners, it is definitely a comfort. Yeah, I think Taylor's got to be who he is. Don't try to do too much, but run the offense, go through the progressions, make sure we get us in and out of the right play. Just the basic fundamentals of running the offense. And the one thing about him is he has experience. He started games at the other school and played in some big games. And so I don't think the moment will be too big for him. I think he's really excited. This is something he's worked for. Obviously came here for that reason, to have an opportunity to compete for the starting job. And so far he's really done everything we've asked, as well as Gunner has. So this was not a deal where necessarily Gunner lost the job. It was just an opportunity for us to evaluate the position, and we needed to play better at that spot. Gunner was hurt and missed some time last year. We ended up playing really two guys. You could say three, but so the obvious question for us was, how can we get more experience at that position in case something like that would happen again? And I think we accomplished that. And then it came down to a competition, obviously all the way throughout fall camp.